All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about how artificial intelligence is finding its way into one of the most intense, high-stakes training environments there is, the operating room. Now, we're not talking about some sci-fi movie with robot surgeons. No, this is about a powerful new partner, an AI co-pilot that's being designed to help train the next generation of human surgeons. So, you have to ask the basic question, right? How does someone even become a surgeon? For, gosh, centuries, the answer has been pretty much the same. It's an apprenticeship. You know the old saying, see one, do one, teach one? It's a model built entirely on watching experts and then getting hands-on practice. But as you can imagine, in our fast-paced modern world, that classic model is under some serious pressure. And that pressure, well, it's starting to show. Get this. One study suggested that as many as 20% of surgical residents graduating in the US might not be totally proficient in core procedures. Now, this has nothing to do with them being untalented or not dedicated. It's really a signal that the traditional system itself is struggling to keep up. So what's the hang-up? Well, for one, trainees today have strict limits on their work hours, which just means less time in the OR. On top of that, the feedback they get from mentors, while it's absolutely crucial, can be really subjective. It can change a lot from one trainer to the next. And in a world where a single millimeter can make all the difference, not having a consistent, objective standard is a huge hurdle. It makes an already steep learning curve feel even steeper. This is exactly the problem that AI is stepping in to help solve. And that brings us to this incredible new idea, the AI mentor. The goal here isn't to replace human teachers, not at all. It's to give them a brand new kind of tool, one that's perfectly objective, completely consistent, and, well, available 24/7. To really get how this works, we need to look at two key pieces of tech. First up, you've got computer vision. The simplest way to think about this is that it gives the AI a pair of eyes. It can watch a live video from a surgery, figure out which tool is which, identify parts of the anatomy, and understand what the surgeon is actually doing from moment to moment. It turns a messy, complex video into clean, structured data. And that data feeds right into the next piece of the puzzle, machine learning. If computer vision gives the AI eyes, machine learning is the brain. It takes all that visual data and actually learns from it. By studying thousands and thousands of hours of procedures done by the world's best surgeons, the AI starts to recognize the patterns of what works, those tiny, subtle moves that separate a good surgeon from a great one. So, where is all this amazing technology being used first? Well, you don't just throw it into a live operation, right? It's starting in the world of surgical simulation, kind of like training in the Matrix. It's about giving new surgeons a place to practice and fail safely, long before a real patient is on the table. And this really shows you what a huge leap forward we're talking about. The old simulators, they were kind of clunky, with basic graphics and pretty limited feedback. But AI-powered VR, it's a total game changer. We're talking hyper-realistic anatomy that you can interact with. And here's the most important part. You get objective, real-time feedback. The AI can literally track your every movement and tell you exactly how you're doing compared to the ideal, something no human could ever do with that level of precision. And listen, this isn't just some cool theory. A clinical trial back in 2022 found that AI-based tutoring wasn't just more effective than getting feedback from an expert remotely, it also saved a massive amount of senior surgeons' time. We're talking 53 hours over just 13 weeks. That's incredible. So what this all really boils down to is that AI simulation creates this perfect, safe sandbox for surgeons to really master their craft. They get instant, custom-tailored feedback that helps them learn faster and build the confidence and muscle memory they're going to need when they finally step into a real OR. Okay, so after proving itself in the lab, AI is taking the next big step. It's now moving into the live operating room, not to perform the surgery, but to act as an intelligent co-pilot, giving guidance in real time. Take a look at how this works. This system is basically designed to act like a human trainer who's looking over your shoulder. It takes in a ton of data all at once. It's watching the live video feed, it's tracking the motion of the surgical tools, and it understands the context of what's happening. And it puts it all together to generate genuinely helpful feedback. It might sound super complex, but you can break it down into 3 pretty simple steps. First, it gathers all that input: video, motion, context, the whole shebang. Second, and this is the really clever part, it translates what it sees into a simple structure. Which instrument did what action to which tissue.
And finally, a large language model, kind of like the tech behind ChatGPT, uses that simple phrase to create natural, human-sounding advice.
So, how does a computer learn to talk like a surgeon? Well, it learns the same way we do, by listening. It's been trained on thousands of examples of real feedback from actual surgeries. For instance, it learns that when a trainer says buzz or burn or coagulate, they're all talking about a similar thing. It slowly builds its own little dictionary, its own ontology of surgical language.
And the result is honestly groundbreaking. As the researchers themselves put it, this is the very first system that can go all the way from just raw video to generating useful feedback that sounds like it's coming from an actual surgeon. That's a huge leap forward. Okay, I know this all sounds pretty incredible, but let's pump the brakes for a second and get a reality check. How does AI actually perform when you put it head-to-head with human experts right now? It's time for humans versus machines.
Which, of course, brings us to the ultimate question. With all this amazing progress, is an AI ready to just take over? Could it replace a human surgeon?
Well, the short answer is a pretty clear no. At least, not yet. A recent study put a bunch of top AI models up against surgeons and residents on a major surgery board exam, and the results speak for themselves. The specialists scored over 80%. Residents were around 70%, but the AIs, they averaged below 60%. There is still a very real performance gap.
And this really shows why. It's not about one being better than the other. They have totally different complementary strengths. Humans bring that irreplaceable clinical judgment, that intuition, that ability to adapt when things go sideways. AI, on the other hand, brings flawless consistency, objective analysis of massive amounts of data, and an unbelievable ability to spot patterns. They're just different kinds of smart. And there's another critical issue here, something called the black box problem. An AI might give you the right answer, but it often can't explain why it's the right answer. It can't show its work. And in medicine, understanding the why is everything. That's why human oversight is and will be absolutely essential. So, when you put all of that together, the picture becomes really clear. This isn't a competition. This isn't about replacing people. It's about collaboration. It points to a future of the augmented surgeon, where amazing human skill is amplified by incredible artificial intelligence. So, if you take away one thing, let it be this. The goal isn't to build a robot that can operate all by itself. The real goal, the true prize, is to build a powerful partnership that takes the best of human expertise and combines it with the best of machine intelligence. And I think this quote really just says it all. If we do this the right way, if we responsibly integrate these tools, this human-machine team-up could lead to safer surgeries, better results for patients, and just a brighter future for everyone. Which leaves us with a final, pretty profound thought. The training of the next great surgeon is going to look completely different. It'll probably be a human mentor and an AI co-pilot working together. So the question isn't if this is going to happen. The question is, are we ready for it?